I have always said that one of the easiest ways to get into Warhammer is through video games. The first Space Marine game is a testament to that. So many people played that game who weren't originally fans of Warhammer, who now are. So a lot of our news this week is going to deal with video games. The Warhammer Skulls reveal was this past week, and a lot of stuff was announced. I do have a full-length video on Space Marine 2 if that's what you're more interested in. This is going to be about everything else that was revealed. But I'm HoodGuard, and this is your Monday Warhammer wrap-up. Let's break it down.
There is no peace amongst the stars, for in the grim, dark future, there is only war.
Before we begin, just a quick disclaimer, I'm only going to hit on the big announcements for 40k, all the other Age of Sigmar or fantasy stuff you'll have to go and look at on your own. But let's start with the big announcement, Space Marine 2. Like I said before, I do have a full-length video about that reveal that goes over everything that came out, but we can do a quick rundown here. The TLDR is that Space Marine 2 is going to come with two different 3-player co-op modes. One is a PvE mode known as Operations, that is kind of like a Spartan Ops, and the other is the 3-player co-op campaign. The other mode that was announced was the 6v6 Eternal War mode. This is a PvP arena style mode that's really going to fill out the multiplayer parts of Space Marine 2. There was also the reveal of the customization system that is pretty extensive. It appears you can change the color of your armor, the types of armor that you're wearing, even your gun skins. And last, Focus Entertainment came out with a statement saying that they would not have microtransactions in Space Marine 2, and that all gameplay features that would come out later would be free to everyone. The only thing that will ever be paid are DLC packs for skins. I think it's always going to be a green flag when a company is trying to scale back their monetization, especially since we're already paying so much for games. But we still have to take it with a grain of salt. At the end of the day, they're still a company and they can go back on their word at any moment. Now, sticking within that Space Marine vein, there was something that was announced that has not gotten a lot of press that I think is pretty cool, and that is the Space Marine VR game. VR gaming still isn't as popular as was predicted maybe 10 years ago, but it is trending upward, and I think Games Workshop is trying to capitalize on that. Right now, the only Warhammer VR game I can think of is the Battle Sister game, which is alright. It's just a real basic VR shooter with a Warhammer skin over the top of it. But Space Marine VR actually looks like a Space Marine game and not just a generic VR one. There will be more announcements coming on that in the future, but it's something to keep an eye on. Next, we're talking about Boltgun. Boltgun was a hit when it came out. It was an incredibly fun game, but it did not have any longevity. There's not really a multiplayer mode. There's not really a mode outside of the main campaign. So it is past time for some type of DLC or updated content coming, and we're getting that with Forges of Corruption. There are going to be new weapons added like the Multi-Melta and the Missile Launcher, and along with some new maps, we have 2 new enemies, including a Hellbrute. And Focus Entertainment, staying true to their word at least with this game, is releasing the Horde mode free to all players. I really think this is going to freshen up the game a bit and actually bring people back to playing it again. And a Horde mode fits so perfectly with the aesthetic and style of Boltgun. The last big announcement from this reveal is one that I didn't see coming at all, but is one I am super excited for, and that was the reveal of Mechanicus 2. The first Mechanicus game is a turn-based tactics strategy game that was very good. The soundtrack was amazing, it had a really good story, but the game mechanics are probably becoming a little bit more outdated. We even see in this new Mechanicus 2 reveal that we might be able to play as the Necrons. They even flipped the original opening Mechanicus script for the Necron perspective. There's no release date yet for Mechanicus 2, but you can watch the trailer here on YouTube. We're going to end out today's video with a couple of Sunday previews that I wanted to highlight. It's been a minute since there's been a 40k or Black Library pre-order that's specifically for 40k. There are 2 things going up for pre-order this Saturday that my 40k fans might want to be aware of. First is the Kill Team Termination Box. This is a brand new Kill Team set that pits the Leagues of Votann against the Gene Stealer cults. I'm so glad that they chose the Hernkin Jaegers for the Votann representation in this box. I love the styles of all the different leagues, but Hernkin Jaegers really are cool. And last but not least, we have a new character model coming out by Mike Brooks. This is going to color Lelith Hesperax, the Queen of Knives. Now, this first release is only going to be for the limited edition, of which there's only maybe 1,500 to 2,000 copies of. There hasn't been word yet on when the regular hardback will be available for pre-order. But if you really want to get the book and know the lore behind it, or if you're just a really big fan of Lelith Hesperax, here you go. Alright y'all, that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you guys always for watching. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. Make sure you leave a like, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you all in the next one.